page. Y'all coming in, y'all coming in. It was like hella high water. I wasn't gonna come on my live today, but I said to myself, you know what? Ain't nothing to it but to do it, baby. So let's just get up here, because I told y'all this page is like a little promise to myself that I show up for myself. And so since I created this page, I want to be here. I said Tuesdays at 2. And even though tonight I'm gonna do my best to get on the live for the debate tonight. But I can't promise that, because you know how it is, like my daughter's out right now. She's sick. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to come back on tonight. That would be my hope, would be able to come back on and do my opinions on the debate with y'all. But again, cannot guarantee it. So yeah. So I didn't want to lie and say I wasn't going. I said I was coming Tuesdays at 2. So I'm trying to keep my word and do Tuesdays at 2. So here I am. Hey y'all, how was your week last week? It's been a lot going on. The whole Diddy of it all. We're gonna get into all of it. Is this too bright? I can't really tell. I think sometimes it looks better without the light, right y'all? But it feels dark because my room is dark. Which I like it better, without the light, with the light. Let me see. I always like blue lights, even though Beyonce say black girls don't look good in blue. Who lied to her? Okay. See, I like the blue light. Oh, that's pretty too. Y'all like that one? I think I'm gonna do this one. Gives like a warm vibe. Like I'm feeling pretty warm today. Pretty inviting today. So yeah, let's get into it. So I was actually watching, and I want to finish it before I jump on my live, so y'all can watch me watch it, or y'all can keep on strolling. I'm gonna finish the SNL skit for the Trump and Harris thing. I already was cracking up. So if you notice, I just watched like half of it. So in the beginning, they had like Kamala coming out and her husband like fangirling over her, and like it's like, I can't believe I got you. It's like Seth Rogen getting with Charlize Theron. So they were spot on. Then they showed JD Vance. They got him being an Asian American, which is hilarious, being that that's his whole spiel, is like my wife's Asian American. So the fact that they cast an Asian American for him, they did that. Okay, so I'm gonna watch the second half. I just came where Donald Trump was speaking and like I'm talking about the SNL skit, and as he's speaking, they're ushering out the people, like people are leaving in droves, and he's like, wait, where you going, where you going? And he's like, oh Biden, I miss you, Biden. So that's where he's like, he can't like focus on Kamala. He keeps talking about Biden and all his rallies. So SNL is hilarious. So now I'm at the part where JD Vance is about to come on, and they have like this screen, like this bulletproof screen in front of Trump. Who is this guy playing him? And I have it on 2 times because I need this stuff. Hold on, let me turn it off at 2 times so y'all can hear it. But am I the only one who watch YouTube's on 2 times? Okay, I'm doing normal.
To have him stand next to me and be home. We had this in the back, but then they did a switcheroo and they swapped out.
Can y'all hear it? I'm gonna turn it up so y'all can hear it.
Everything is chaos. They're eating the dogs.
They're eating the cats.
The cats. They're taking your pets and they're doing free.
He said they're taking your pets and they're doing freak offs.
Freak offs with the dogs, and they're making the geese watch. It's very sad. It's very sad. They're doing a Diddy.
They're doing a Diddy. SNL, y'all are wilding right now.
JD Vance. People are saying he was a bad pick.
JD Vance, you know the internet talks about pick-me's all the time. JD Vance is a pick-me. That's crazy. They got the Asian guy. So hilarious. And then they took the protection for the gun away from him. It's basically saying the Republicans don't like him like that either.
JD, you're like a son to me. Because I don't like you, I'm stuck with you.
Trump said, JD, you're like a son to me because I don't like you and you stuck with me.
I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here?
This whole, both sides is creeps and weirdos apparently. They got more people walking out for Vance. I know this bothered Trump because you know he hates that people walking out because no matter what Trump wanted to be his whole life, he wanted to be a star. Like star. That's what he wanted.
Instead to Vice President Harris, where the dancing appears to be wrapping up.
Oh Lord, they got her dancing to black people songs. Kamala. Oh, and she plays such a good Beyonce, doesn't she? And now she's playing Maya Rudolph. I mean, not Maya Rudolph. What's this lady name? Maya Rudolph's daughter? Oh, no, that's Maya Rudolph. Yeah. Her mama is somebody famous, right? Minnie Riperton. But she plays such a good Harris. Oh. Y'all, what is going on with Biden? Okay, he hasn't shown up for Hurricane Helene. I have a lot of theories because I'm a conspiracy theorist sometimes. So I have like an idea, like if you notice, there's like a lot of hurricanes, disasters, elections. And I feel like that big Katrina disaster led us to Obama. And because it was focused on like black people and their suffering, I feel like this big Helene hurricane is more focused on Georgia and North Carolina and more Republican states in the mourning of white people and the disasters around white people. And so I feel like that's what you see in that space. So it's like now is election, we need to work on supporting the poor white people. That's more like Trump's bag. Even though he advocates for the rich, he also has the vote. Hi Callie, hey, how you doing? He also has like the poor people in his pocket too. People don't talk about that. And the Democrats, the people don't like them because they're mostly just middle class. And what does that mean? Like for like a lot of Americans, they want to either know that you're going to fix the wealth gap or you're going to do like the trickle down effect. Because I think a lot of poor people are seeing it this way. Like if you are at the top of the top, and you are the CEO of the company of the McDonald's that I work at, and I'm the poor person, maybe if you're the CEO at the top, maybe if you make more money and get more tax breaks, maybe you'll give us more earnings and pay. So I think that's why, even though Republicans mostly focus on like the 1% in terms of tax breaks, I think a lot of poor people support them because they are affected by the happiness of those CEOs who are usually running those conglomerates and those kind of low-wage capitalistic companies. So if that makes sense. But anyway, back to the SNL scheme.
If we win together, we can end the drama.
The drama.
And the trauma.
And the trauma.
And go relax.
And go relax in our pajamas. That was cute. Who wrote that? That was cute. Who is acting as Joe Biden? They got him down. And we know Joe is not there. The fact that he's not there for Hurricane Helene lets you know he is completely senile, y'all. Him and Clive Davis, they don't see nothing. They blind. They blind to all this right now. And they got out just in time because the whole cookie about to crumble. And Trump, you think Diddy bad? Trump is worse. You think Diddy got tapes? I'm sure Trump got tapes on tapes on tapes. So he's like, it's like poker what we seeing right now. Basically, Diddy is like kind of exerted as much power as he can in terms of supporting the Democrats. Remember, he was like this big Hope Dream Obama guy, and he was this big, like a lot of political campaigns. Remember Rock the Vote? That was Diddy. Then Rock the Vote when he had the hedge, the Mohawk. So he has a lot of Democratic politicians in his pocket. Hence, Adams. Okay, so we see that. So Trump is like, okay, if you got all these people in your pocket, then let me show you who I got in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? I got Elon Musk in my pocket. I got, you know, a lot of the 1%ers, the real rich in my pocket. So, and I know that because just now I was watching him speak. So what I'm noticing is, if you look at how the Democrats, because I'm researching this for both of you guys, like both sides. So I'm looking at what the Dems are saying and I'm looking at what the Republicans are saying. But when I'm chasing media and researching everything, with the Democrats, everything's in my face, is there. I can easily get access to the information, and it's funny, it's lighthearted, and it's kind of like TikTok-y, very like modern. Whereas when I'm trying to get information about the Republican Party, it's very streamlined and it's only in long form, like lectures. So like there's these long, like even SNL joked about it and said 3 hours later with Donald Trump rallies, like, and that's how it feels. Like you're watching those rallies for so long. I have to watch everything in 2 times. That's why I got in the habit of watching things in 2 times, because that's what it feels like. It's like so long and drawn out. There's no media covering Donald Trump because he done pissed everybody off. They still interviewing with JD Vance because he hasn't pissed them off so much, but he's getting aggravated. He's aggravating Fox, and that's their media ally. So that's why you see them outside of like rubble with like local news reporters, because the big conglomerates, the cable companies, are really not pleased with Donald Trump, especially when, even though he's saying certain things about, like, that he thinks are targeted towards Kamala or targeted towards Walls, he's saying things that are also targeted towards American citizens. So that's why they get up in arms. So like when he called Kamala the other day, he's calling her disabled, and he's calling her the dumbler, disabled. So if your child is disabled and in school, guess what the kids are calling them? Dumblers, disabled. So that's why a lot of Republicans who may have also mentally, you know, challenged kids are really not rocking with what Donald Trump is saying this weekend. It's becoming a big deal. And I really saw like a lot of the pundits on Fox News were really, really upset with Donald Trump for that. So, you know, remember Tupac? Well, do you guys remember Tupac? Of course you know who Tupac is. But one of the things he said all the time was, they said if there was anything, oh, it's 222, guys. Take a wish. Okay, so they said if there's anything that you could like change about yourself, what would it be? And Tupac said, my big mouth, right? And it's so true, because I think that's what the thing that gets Donald Trump in trouble is his mouth. Like, it's not his access to wealth, it's not his formulations, not even his plans, because some of them I understand what he, like the taxes, the what is it, the adding tariffs to China, I kind of agreed to it at first, but that bit us in the butt. And then also the tax for tips thing that he's been talking about a lot, I kind of agree with that too. And so much so that Kamala stole that idea from him as well. So he has good ideas. He has concepts of ideas. But the way he will, is he at, what sign is he? Are we the same sign? Because I'm an Aries. So the way he will ram his head into something and destroy it, that is a big issue with Trump. Let's see what his sign is. I told you, this is not like your average political page. I just do what I want because I like politics. I love my country. I'm going to support whatever president is in office. I really don't have a dog in the fight. I am voting for Kamala, and I was like bullied to tell that last time because it was like, who are you voting for? But that's who I'm voting for as of now. But I'm still not comfortable with that vote either. But for me, I just don't like, if you actually are watching Donald Trump and you have like a sane mind, and you're watching, and I'm a logical person. I'm not like I don't pick based on who I like and dislike. Even in the workplace, like I'm not going to do a job based on, or treat a coworker a certain way based on if I like them or not. I'm going to treat them pretty much all equally until we get outside and have parties and drink and whatever. Then I'll tell you who I really am. But if I'm in the office with you, all y'all going to get the same treatment. So that's kind of how I feel about Trump. Like I was giving Trump and Kamala the same exact treatment, essentially, until basically this BS started, and he just kind of is just going so far with the hate train. And you know that hate can turn dark real fast. Yeah, you gotta go based on feeling. It's really true. Yeah, you're going for Trump. That I met an Uber driver too. I was talking to him. He told me why he's going for Trump too. He was saying, again, guys, I love politics, so feel free to say what you want to say, as long as it's like kind. So my Uber driver was telling me he is a second generation migrant here in America, and his mom came here in like 1978 or something like that, and she came here the right way, so to speak. Like she got thousands of dollars in savings. She had to do all these odd jobs to get the opportunity to be here in America, and once she finally did, she sent for her kids, and her kids came over, and they went through the proper protocols. And he was saying all the work that him and his family had to do to get here, and then now, especially because we live in a sanctuary city, and he was saying all the work that now that he has to do is kind of thrown out the window, because these sanctuary cities allows the migrants to come here without having to do anything or pay those fees that his mother had to pay and struggle the way his mother had to pay. So he just felt like with Donald Trump, he'll allow some reins on, you know, the border, because he felt like Kamala had all this time, Kamala and Biden, of course, had all this time to fix the borders and do everything they said they were going to do, but they ended up doing it. And if we see where we are now, it hasn't necessarily panned out the way that we wanted it to be, because it does, based on the imagery, especially that like Donald Trump is showing, it does seem like it's out of control. Like when you watch, like for a person that says they're going to vote for Kamala, and then watching it from like a weekly perspective just to inform you guys and try to get into the mindsets of both and understand how the Republicans think and why it's like that. And somebody who's also I voted Democrat and Republican in the past. I guess I consider myself independent, but it was a time where I felt like I identified more as a Republican. But now I really don't identify with either, because I see the tricks, and also I worked in politics, and so there's a lot of, remember Diddy said, no, I think, yeah, Diddy did say, he said there's a lot of effing going on. And he's like, if you are a parent and you want your child in Hollywood, just know there's a lot of effing around. And if you don't F around, you probably shouldn't join Hollywood. He was talking literal. We think he's just saying, oh, people effing around with you and being bad guys to you. No, he mean they actually. And that's politics too. So when I remember working for, I basically did consultant work and in the political realm, and we did something called pay to play. So in order to be a participant in some of the things that were going on in the city, in terms of like just anything Renaissance related to the city, you'd have to put your bid into the mayor's office, and the mayor would decide whether or not your proposal will go through, right? And so in order to even get considered to be seen by the mayor, you have to pay to play, and that's $2,500. That is the cap that you can give per season. So they have like political seasons and political terms where you can put in your pay to play. So over the whole year, the max you can put is about approximately $10,000. You can put a little bit more here and there depending on how you explain those offsets and costs, right? So in order to give that politician more money than that $10,000, then you have to invest in charities. So for example, the mayor would say, look, I just created this women's survivor abuse center, and I need you guys to put in $50,000. The company will then say, okay, I'll put the $50,000. What the politician then does is take the $50,000, they build this maybe a $30,000 facility, and they keep in pocket the rest of the money. It's that just the way it goes, and the way they maintain the secret is by effing around, right? So everybody knows what's happening. That's just how the party happens. And so with me, I learned I am not a politics girl. Like, I don't get it on my back. I will never get it on my back. I don't play like that. So a lot of these politicians have gotten it on their back too. And that's why I say I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I am a independent. Okay, and that means I'm voting for who I feel like aligns with things that the way I want to see the country. And I feel like hate always is scarier than love. And Donald Trump has run a campaign on hate, unfortunately. And you can't tell me he hasn't. And let me tell you why. Because this week, this is literally verbatim. Like, he's called her the dumbler. He called her mentally ill. He said that she is disabled, and he said she's more disabled than Joe Biden. And so if you're putting fear in people in order to not believe in the leader of their current world, then I can't believe in you, because I believe in tact, right? And I believe in camaraderie. I believe in sportsmanship. And to me, if you don't have the basic human decency to have sportsmanship, then you can't be my president. And as much as Donald Trump wants to be the man, he doesn't have sportsmanship, which means he doesn't have love, which means he doesn't have care, which means when Kamala reached across the aisle, he didn't even want to shake her hand. And it's like, to me, that's not how the race should be. This is a race, right? And if you're running a race, you either got to be the tortoise and the hare. You don't necessarily want to be the hare and not play fair, because then that's how you lose in it. And that's what I see. I see it's a very simple case of the tortoise and the hare. And it's like he's so far reaching with hate, and hate will move. I wouldn't be surprised if he won. Look at Hitler. Hate moves. Hate moves in groups. It's a group thing. It's like even if you think about Guyana and Jim Jones, it's a cult leader, right? And he's doing these tests right now for his Republican Party. So he's saying the more salacious things he says about her, and the more the Republicans defend the salacious things that he says, is going to let him know who I can trust once I get in office and who I cannot trust once I get in office. And that's what the dictator needs. The dictator needs absolute control, no matter if he's right, or wrong. It's true. So that's how Trump is. No matter if he's right or wrong, he wants. They said that about Michael Jackson. They said, what was Michael Jackson's biggest downfall? They said Michael Jackson's biggest downfall, that he got around a bunch of people who only told him yes. He just needed one person in his life to say no to him. And they said anytime Michael Jackson had somebody that said no to him, he would immediately cut them off. And we've seen that in Donald Trump's first regime, right? His first administration. He dragged Omarosa by her wig out of the White House. He diddied her. He diddied her in the White House. And y'all think he gonna be kind and loving? Oh, but my pocket's gonna be, your pockets are not gonna be aligned. Your spirit gonna be broken. You might get an extra $1,000 for the whole year. But is that worth your soul? What profits the man to gain the world but lose his whole soul? Huh? What does it profit? It does not. And that's what we see. This man has the whole world. This man was literally inherited with all this money, all this good he could have did. And the best he can come up with is this. This is not it. If you have all this time and resources to improve a world, and your first chance at it is you create a pandemic because you don't want to listen to nobody, come on. We don't need that again. You allowing tiki torches, we don't need that again. It's like y'all have amnesia. It's an abusive relationship. It's an avoidant attachment style. That's all this is. It's like you fall in love with somebody. Like, all right, I'll give you an example. I was watching this movie called A Felicia Blakely Story. And that's what this reminds me of with America, like, right? And I never understood. I said, how do women end up being so strong and independent and then kind of become pimped out? And that's what Donald Trump is pimping us. So, and I'm going to give you the pimp game. My granddaddy said, don't let no man pimp you. But this is the pimp game. So, you love bomb them. You tell them everything they want to hear. You make them feel like they're the smartest people in the room, which he does with us. He makes us feel like we are so smart. Smarter than the Democrats give y'all credit for. You guys are so beautiful. You guys are so, he gaslighting us and love bombing us, right? And then once you do that, love bomb us, we feel in the protection and the comfort of him, and he will rescue us from this, downturned, horrible Democratic Party. And I fell for it too. You guys go back on my page and look at some of the stuff. I was like super for Trump prior to Kamala getting in. And so then you have him, you fall in love with this man. And then once he has you, he starts breaking it down, right? He's going to start saying, and even y'all gun-toting men, he's going to start saying, we don't need them guns no more. What you need guns for? I'm here. I'm the protector. I'm going to protect y'all. I love y'all. It's me, Trump. It's me, Mario. You feel me? And he's going to say, we don't need them. We in a safe state now. We in a militant state now. He gonna reel back gun laws. I am more of a real Republican than that man. I'm telling you how the abuse cycle looks like. I'm telling you what the abuse cycle looks like. This is not a joke. This man abuses women. There's documents of it. I don't care if you're the president. He will do the same thing to us that he do to the women in the rooms. It's not a lie. There's documents of it. There is documentation of it. And so it is what it is. I don't lie. That's one thing I don't lie. So at the end of the day, so once they get you there, it's not like you are gonna know overnight that they've taken these rights away from you. Taking away rights from a person, taking away power from a woman. Let's talk about that, because that's what we're talking about, abuse. Taking away power is through acts of love. So at the end of that movie with Felicia Blakely, the end of her story, she ended up doing some terrible things for two other people because this man loved her so much. And she had never been loved in that way before by a man. And you know what happened? He is scot-free, and she is spending 50 years in jail. And because that's what love do sometimes. Love will blind you, right? Love will blind you to the realities of what's happening around you because you are being seduced and your ears are being filled with everything you want to hear. And that's what Donald Trump do in every debate. Oh, look at my beautiful people. Oh, look how smart we are. Look at us, look at us, look at us, look at us, look at us. You belong, you belong. And then you know what he does as soon as he gets you? Go smack you, right? And that's what you see time and time again. I didn't say that. He never admits to anything he says, never kind of double down on who he is. He will, look how he did Pence. You understand? Okay. What, did you vote for him the second time? Because Biden in there now. So, the bottom line is, there is an art of seduction. And Donald Trump has mastered it over the years. Especially being in them Diddy parties. You know what I'm saying? Them kind of men, birds of a feather flock together. If you go Google right now, Diddy and Trump, they buddy. And there's a lot of that going on in Hollywood and Hollyweird. And he is not exempt of it. Whether or not he win, like I said, it have nothing to do with me. I'm just telling you, I've been on the ground level, and I've been with the biggest politicians in the world. And he is one of the biggest politicians in the world. I've even been at his house in Bedminster. These people pay to play. So you can say what you want. You can fantasize what it is. I can tell you it is what it is. And somebody said this. You guys watch The Wire. I watch a lot of TV. In The Wire, one of the characters was like, you want things to be a certain way, but it ain't that way. You want Donald Trump to be the superhero, but it ain't that way. He can be he's going to be the hero in the same vein that the abuser is the hero for the abused. He's going to come. He's going to make you feel good. He's going to say what you want. You're going to feel good for a couple of years until the reality strikes and hits. Because the things he is saying about this woman, just listened. If anybody ever said these things about you as a human being, it's abusive. And it's not anything you would teach your child. You would never teach a child to say the things this grown man is saying on national TV. You would tell her, if it's kindergarten said the things he's saying out his mouth, you would spank them. You would say, no, bad baby. You would. And you know it. If he said the things that this man is saying, go watch his interview. There's no news coverage of him. Why is there no news coverage? And I'm researching this for you. I'm researching this for you. For the ones that are supporting Trump. I'm trying to get research, baby. Not feeling, research. So I'm researching this thing for you guys. For the people who want more information. For the people who want to get an unbiased opinion on it. But there is no information because the news outlets don't mess with that man no more. He is only going to industrial towns working with local news and amateurs. That's what he says. But that is an acumen to his personality. It's like, you know, they say sometimes if everybody you encounter don't like you at a certain point, you got to look at the man in the mirror. It's like the same thing. I don't know if you white or black, but the big news around the black community is Amanda Seales. And, her treatment and how she has been, kind of outcasted in Hollywood. And I think we saw a lot of stuff lately. And I like Amanda Seales. She's my kind of girl. But I think at a certain point we did kind of see the side she played into her own downfall and demise, because it's almost like she one of the people that just can't be happy. Like nothing you can give her can make her happy, and she's always going to find something. And she attributed to autism, which I'm so happy she has a reasoning for it. But it made her look to autism because she kept getting in so much trouble with everybody, and everybody she bumped into time and time again, she kept having the same experiences with them, to the point where she had to look inwardly and realize there was something that she had to take care of. And so that's what you see with Donald Trump. Like, you see a person who everybody is like, except his paid actor, his wife, she's the only one on his side that is advocating. It's two people. And then I was also thinking, who is Donald Trump's campaign manager? Because I was watching Kamala, she has somebody who she listens to, who is kind of helping rally the students and going into communities, talking to colleges. Who are the people helping Trump go into the colleges, talk to the community? Only thing you see with Donald Trump is him literally in front of like a pile of manure or tree trunks or mud or industrial warehouse in the middle of nowhere. And he's doing these talks. There is no official, it used to be fly. It used to be jazzy to be a president on a run. And he's like in these low class, bottom barrel environments. Selling, what he sell the other day? He sold something today. I can't even remember it. It was just like random product placement in his rallies, like honey bunches of oats and bacon, like just random commercial breaks. And you saying they're in Kamala's pockets, but he got the Raisin Bran commercial in his rally randomly? Some of the milk ain't clean. You tell me. It ain't feel. I literally saw it on TV. He had Raisin Bran, bacon, sausage, and there's a new one that just came out yesterday. I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, let me write this down, but I didn't write it. It was something new he was promoting just yesterday. Y'all can tell me if you remember it. Was it some kind of new snack or something? This your guy? Is this your king? Selling Frosted Flakes at president rallies? But Kamala broke? Get real. Okay, now we can get into the official things. Okay, so, and this is why I came on now, because I usually do Tuesday at 2, and I'm gonna also come on tonight, so you guys want to join me later tonight. That'll be fun. I'm not gonna be talking, because last time I did my 2 o'clock live, and then I did my presidential live, I was beat. I couldn't even move for work. I was like, I couldn't even get up. So I think I even called out the next day. It was too much. So I think tonight I'm gonna do this until we end today. I got a few notes, not too much. And then after this, I'm gonna go relax for a little bit because my baby's home from school. She's sick. So that's why I wasn't sure I was gonna jump on today. And I said, you know what, I'm just gonna wait until tonight and then join y'all tonight, because at that point my husband will be home and I can kind of really shoot the shit with y'all. But I didn't want to be on here and then had to hop on and deal with a sick baby. But she's really calm right now. Y'all hear her, or you don't hear her. So she calm right now. So I told her to give me about an hour, and then I hop out. So I got about 20 more minutes before I hop out with y'all. Then I'm come back tonight, God willing. And then I said, you know what if I come on now and then I'm not able to come on later? I'm gonna be mad and like kind of upset, because we don't know, because you know how sick the kids is. She might be okay now, and then tonight she might be feeling. I feel like sicknesses start happening in the nighttime. So I said, let me hop on now. At least I covered my bases with y'all, and I kept my word to y'all that I was coming back this week. And then, you know, if I come on tonight, it'll be maybe not. I hope I do come on, but we can't have it all. We can't juggle it all. Wife, mom, all that stuff. I didn't even do my nails this week. I usually do my nails. Okay, so day 35, that's where we at. And I don't have no reception in my room for some reason. What's going on here? Let me see. I usually read off my iPad, but it's acting crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It's so interesting. Every time I get on my live, something wonky like that happens. Like I either can't get on my computer, or what I notice is if I talk really good about Donald Trump and I say Donald Trump's the best, I could even do it right now, give you guys a little example. Like, Donald Trump, the best president, the best ever, amazing, fantastic. My views will start getting increasing. So I think if you see, like, sometimes a lot of the black girls, when they're like Trump, they get paid. Like, you get more money and more views when you talk positive about Trump. If I say anything like positive for Kamala or negative about Trump, it gets no views. Even on my page, it gets literally no views. So sometimes I'm like, it feels like a little defeating, because you're like, oh, like, it's like almost like I can't say nothing that I really want to say. It's like you can't keep it a buck on TikTok no more. That was the fun part about TikTok. You cannot keep it a buck on here, because if you keep it a buck, you ain't gonna get no views. If you tell them lies, that's when you get all the views. So it's actually really pretty crazy now how I feel like, because that's why Trump said the other day, he said that him and Elon Musk are about to sue what's his name? About to sue, I wrote it down, Mark Zuckerberg. And I said, oh, I understand why he about to sue. And I think he about to sue because, you know, Mark Zuckerberg has that fact check on Facebook now since the last election, and that fact check kind of dispels a lot of times what Donald Trump is saying, whereas Twitter and stuff, Twitter doesn't dispel anything anymore. Remember, like, because once Elon took over, he basically said anybody can do anything. So that's what you're seeing with them being upset at Zuckerberg. The fact that he still is kind of doing that whole, confirming the truth and everything. Fact checker is what they call it. They don't like the fact checker. They don't want the fact checker. They just want like a little, you talk about the election, some of this could be true, some of this could be false. They don't want a fact checker that says, this is true, actually on this date, this is false, actually on this date, this and this. They don't want that. So that's what Facebook still got up. So they mad at Zuck. And it's basically like, they trying to throw balls, and it's like a nerd off. Because Elon Musk only gangster because he got money. And Zuckerberg, he on that Zen, like, he basically Steve Jobs 2.0, like, I'm weird, I'm an alien, and y'all ain't like me kind of vibe, like, giving very much Kendrick, like, I'm here, don't test me, I'm not a gangster, but don't push me. Where you got Elon is more like Drake, he like, rah, 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 I'm in my face doing, makeup tutorials and vlogs and podcasts. I don't know, that's the vibe they give me, the differences. Okay, so let's talk about the highlights. So day 35 and 35, flying high. Okay, highlights of the week. Let's talk a little bit about Kamala. There was the big interview with her husband, Doug Emhoff, and what it means for him to be the second gentleman of the world. And so he was like, he's very proud of his wife, kind of like what the SNL skit said. It says that he's going to be discussing, he plans to make his second gentlemanship all about being anti-Semitic, and he also plans to continue teaching. So his platform as second gentleman will be about anti-Semitism, and it's going to be about teaching and education. He's as a profession, he's a lawyer, so he's going to continue to do law, and that's his passion for right now. Really proud of his wife. And he just, like the SNL skit says, he just thinks his wife is fly. Like, he thinks she's so fine. So I thought that was cute, seeing like him gush about his wife and like love on her. So I like stuff like that. I love when men gush on their girls. And again, that goes back to the little serious topic I got into before about abuse. Like, you can tell when a man is in love versus when a man just tolerates. No Diddy. Okay, so next one is relatable topics. Oh, okay. This is one of the things that was kind of cheesy in the interview, but I get why they did it. They wanted to create like reliability or relatability. So they talked about their favorite shows. Kamala's favorite show is Hacks and Bear. So you guys want to watch that show and get closer to her, that's what she likes. They also talked about cooking, and this is the interview with Doug Emhoff, the husband. He talked about being able to cook baked chicken, rice, and he said his delicacy is scrambled eggs. So that was cute. It was a cute interview. Yeah, he's a lawyer. He wants to talk a lot with like abortion survivors, which I think would be an interesting perspective to see, like the people who may have had like a traumatic abortion, and just explaining why we need abortion doctors, OBGYNs, to, have the function of abortion for medical reasons, not just for, abstinence reasons or like OI or sexual reasons, but actual medical reasons. He said he relates a lot to and respects Jill Biden because she is also an educator. And so he was saying, similar to, I guess, how Jill Biden has made education a big part of her platform as the first lady, he would, as the second gentleman, also make that education be a really, really big part of his platform. And he also talked about a little bit about Tim Walz and how they're huge and big into education. And for me, I think that could be a good thing and a bad thing. I think it's a good thing because, like, teachers deserve respect. They need education to be at the forthright. But also, I feel like it could be a bad thing because if you have so many educators in the White House sometimes, then maybe they can try to push the education system to be how they want things to be seen, which can take, maybe because they're federal, it can take some of that state autonomy away. So if they're working on education, we just have to monitor it and be careful that they don't take it too far for where they see the school systems. Because as you know, certain things I don't even agree. I'm very much conservative in my spirit, but I live in a democratic state, so I understand both sides. But in terms of like just even something as simple as taking out under God and the Pledge of Allegiance, I didn't agree with back in the day. And so if they're making more of those liberal kind of changes, I really wouldn't like that either. So like especially when it comes to the current big issue, which is gender topics in the schools. I think those conversations still should be had primarily with the parents to a certain age. I think once they become like double digits, fine, I don't care if school talks about it because they're probably curious themselves. But I think prior to that, like maybe 9 and under, they should leave it to the parents. So just stuff like that. I'm a little bit worried with how liberal they are with education. That's a personal thing. That's not the news. That's feeling. So, okay, let's get back into the business of it all. So, this week, Harris will be in PA, Minnesota, and Michigan, and Nevada. So, the good news is she just left Las Vegas. So, I guess she's doubling back to go not just to Las Vegas, but Nevada. Nevada, I guess, is a whole different beast than Las Vegas. So she did Las Vegas, and that was off the tails of Trump, because Trump did Las Vegas the week before that. But you know what's interesting? I didn't really see a lot of publicity around her Vegas trip the way I saw the publicity around Trump's Vegas trip. Like, Trump and Vegas are like Elvis in Vegas. Like, they get along. So the media really ate that up. And he really had a good time in Vegas. But also, last week when you guys were on my live, you will see that when he was in Vegas, again, he was at a Latin restaurant, Mexican restaurant, like in the back room, kind of doing his speech. It's like, just notice it. Just notice it. And he talks about Harris being broke a lot. And y'all know the rule to hustle. If somebody talking about somebody else broke all the time, usually they what? Broke. because you know, broke, rich people with money ain't think about other people's money. Okay, so 4,000. Okay, so there's for Kamala. She just left Vegas. This week she's gonna be very busy. Like, just her team in general, they have 4,000 events planned around the country. So that's like from colleges to local charities, events, fundraisers, events. So again, if you guys are wherever you are in America right now, you can probably find some type of Kamala event. And I'm sure you can find a Trump rally near you as well. But Kamala busy. Also, they're really nervous right now because as much as there is like this media frenzy around her, remember I was telling you, I didn't tell you this. What I felt when I was researching like the Democrats this week versus the Republicans, the Democrats felt like da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and the Republicans felt like I will say that because the Democrats news cycle is always like so in your face, and then when I went for like the Republican news cycle, I felt like I was in class, like I was in college again, like researching, listening to my lecturers and getting the information slowly and processing it slowly. So it made sense to me when I heard this bit of news. Okay, it said that in the battleground states, Kamala is actually tied with Trump right now. And they said because they have to work to go close those gaps worldwide. Let me see if I got the picture of it. Oh, it did. Yay. Did it transfer? Yes, it did. Thank God. Because I don't know, my internet's not working. But at least I got this screenshot. So I wanted to show you guys this. This is where we at now. See that? Kamala, 49. In Wisconsin, these are like some of the swing states. So you can see Nebraska, Michigan. So they're right neck and neck. But in some of the swing states, like the polling is basically saying tied. So these are just MSNBC polls. You have to remember that. So when Kamala and her team, or Trump and his team, are looking at the polls, they're looking at MSNBC's poll, they're looking at CNN's polls, they're looking at Washington Press poll, they're looking at Times polls, they're looking at all these general polls, Bloomberg polls, they're looking at the stocks. So when they're talking about we're not close, even though these numbers say 49, 47, there's like, and then there's that 10% in the right. That says that for MSNBC's poll, which you know are usually typically leaning more liberally. But if I was to show you a Fox poll, it probably might have Donald Trump 1 or 2% points higher. So don't get fooled by these polls. They're still very close in the margin. So that's why I created this page, so that we can diversify our portfolio, so to speak. So we can diversify what we're seeing and not just take the news at face value. Because if you take the news at face value, it'll have you believe in something that isn't true. Because as much as like, yes, Kamala, right now, the Democrats have more to prove than Trump has. It's just the truth. Because he's already, it's like basically going with the devil you know. Some people feel more comfortable staying with who they know than learning about somebody new, and they just didn't give us enough time to truly feel confident in our decisions about Kamala, even though I'm rocking with her because I'm rooting for everybody black. No. No. But seriously, but no. Okay? Alright, but so yeah, so he's tied in many places, working on closing the gap, but Trump has like those states like in the chokehold, so she really has to work harder than you guys like expect, because like I said, we're getting covered with all the shiny stuff. So yeah, they said in order to close those gaps, Kamala's team is going to be working on persuasion and mobilization, and they said there's many of us who do not want Donald Trump but just don't know enough about Kamala. And so the Kamala's campaign aide said that is what he's going to work on this week. He's going to work on how to get the base Dems that are actually leaning towards Republicans, how he's going to get most of them to respect her growth and also come to her organically. So they're working on organic growth with Kamala. They're trying to make her seem relatable, friendly, and things like that. But I don't think people want that right now. I don't think we want no relatable president. We want somebody who want to kick Putin ass. I think they got to get away from the relatable thing. That was old school. That's Obama. We don't want no friends. We want a boss. And that's why people are still leaning towards Trump. We do give asshole boss CEO vibes. As much as we can hate him now, but he won't stop now. Okay, let's go to Trump this week. That was Kamala this week, y'all. So that's basically her in a nutshell, digging into them battleground states. Nothing about border patrol. You see they staying far away from that topic. And this is just general highlights from different news outlets over the week, and just the sense and the tone of what they were talking about with Kamala. No talk of border at all, because that's her weakness, right? Okay, on to Trump. So migrant fear, that's the number one thing that came up this week, I will say. So there was this talk, like him and John Leguizamo is low-key going at it with each other. I don't know if y'all saw that. It was so random. I was like, John Leguizamo, what you out here doing? Ariana, what are you doing here? So he was talking, and he was basically talking about, and I respect that, like, because you know how blacks, we have like the whole history of America, where we came from, how we created America, how we built everything in this country. John Leguizamo said, not too much. He said, we was here since 1917. The first Latino woman in America to be lynched was a Latin American. The first male in America to be lynched was a Latin man for rebellion. Boom, purr. Then he said, we built so many structures in this. He said, we are the most giving to this country outside of black Americans with the least investment in the return. And he said, they are the driving force of America's economy in this current state more than any other racial groups, including black Americans. Boom. And he said, so for Donald Trump to say migrants bring fear and migrants bring violence and terror, he said migrants also move and shake the economy. Purr. That's what he said, y'all. So if y'all have time, go look up that John Leguizamo. It's called Story for America. It was good. And anyway, so after that, Donald Trump didn't reply to that. I don't think he will. But Kamala basically was being called weird. I already talked about that a million times. That was his big spiel all week. I couldn't get any like meat and potatoes from the guy this week because he's spiraling. This is why I'm trying to tell people, like, I'm not a hater. I love Donald Trump. He was on Richie Rich. Like, that's my uncle in my head. Like, I love him. But he is when your uncle is having a bipolar episode, you got to call it out. And he is, unfortunately. Like, I would have loved the guy in my mind who I envisioned Trump to be back when I was a kid, I would have loved that guy to win. But this guy, no. So he is basically picking on Kamala, telling her she's weird, done. He said it's something about her she knows. And that's the whole pick on the whole Jay-Z, Beyonce thing. Because they're writing in Beyonce comments, she knows. Beyonce knows. And then remember, Kamala used Beyonce's song, Freedom, I can't lose. And then Beyonce gave permission for it. And then Donald Trump tried to use one of Beyonce's songs like a week later, and she said, cease and desist. After that, the whole cookie started crumbling because that pissed Donald Trump off. So he basically is trying to take down Beyonce and Taylor Swift. He's trying to take down all of Hollywood because of that, because he couldn't use Beyonce's song. So anyway, so he's like on there next about all this. So that's why he's doing the She Knows, which is really a reference to Beyonce knows. Peep it, catch it. Okay, so then after that we have who do you have? Oh yeah, and I wrote this down. I said it makes sense that he's doing this because he has to poke holes in the character, because we don't know her. We don't know her. We don't. And we're learning her. So the more he punches like holes into her character and create big flaws and make those flaws very obvious, because she is like, she might have autism herself, or she might be on the spectrum, because she does that like giggle, which is like a nervous tick, which is like stimming essentially. And so she stims a lot. So I think, but usually autistic people are really smart too and can see and make connections that typical people can't make. What do they call them? Neurotypical people can't make. So I think because she has that like spectrum, or if she's not autistic, then she might be socially awkward as well, like, because socially awkward people have like some of the similarities as autism. So that nervous laughter can come from that social awkwardness. And it makes sense because she's like a short girl. So sometimes when you're short, I'm a shorter girl, you like kind of overcompensate in other ways, right? It's not necessarily Napoleon complex, but it might be through like means of anxiety or something like that. So that's why I think he's going to keep picking on that and chopping her down as much as he can. I think the biggest thing I noticed between Kamala's like still using like the old Obama media routine, which is basically MSNBC, CBS, and like all the running news outlets to get her story out via other people. And then when she speaks, God speaks. You know, my granddaddy used to say, "God talk, when I talk, God talk." So that's what my granddaddy used to say. So when she talk, God talk, right? So basically you only hear from me sometimes. So if you only hear from me from time to time, when I speak, my voice is more powerful. So if I say it, I mean it, and you better go do it. That's basically what the energy around the Democrats, right? They've always been like that. They create superstars. Whereas Trump, Simma, who got the keys to the bimmer? Because he's speaking all over. Who am I? He's all over. He's talking. He doing live interviews. He talking hella crap about Kamala. He outside. Trump is outside, baby. This man more outside than he been outside since outside. Like, it was crazy. I was like, dang, he outside again. I know he cold. I know he hot. And they better watch his health, because he is going from like different places dealing with like big mass people, because Kamala, she's not around a bunch of people like this. She's doing her rallies, but she's extremely like in her one little box, not talking. Trump is trying to be outside to let the people know I'm a man of the people. So while he's out there, he might get sick, y'all. So hopefully he takes whoever's taking care of him, take care of his health. He visited the site, speaking of him being outside, of Hurricane Helene, which Kamala did not do. Let me be honest, she didn't do it until after he did it. So I'm sure she had plans to go out there, and that also kind of gave me red flags about what's going on with Joe Biden, because why wouldn't the president of the United States go to the hurricane site? Just food for thought. I don't know, you guys can let me know. Lots of messaging. Okay, I said this to you guys earlier. Lots of his messaging is through either text or lecture, so you have to be willing to sit for long hours to get the message. And essentially the message is, hey Kamala, love me, we win, fight. That's it. And I don't know what that means, but that's the message. Y'all take it how y'all want. And you literally, with Trump, you have to read between the lines. And I think that's what's happening. I think there's code words, reading between the lines, and I think there's a lot of if you know, you know. And I'm a find out. I'm getting to know. But that's what it is. A lot of if you know, you know kind of talk with him. He said he's speaking with Elon. Like this. This is a perfect example. He said, right now I'm speaking with Elon to get Starlink up. What that mean? But I'm assuming, just from assumptions, y'all can let me know if I'm wrong, I'm assuming that means the Starlink has something to do with the cell phone towers in the Hurricane Helene, and Trump went over there to collect those Diddy tapes and Diddy phone call thing, because that's what the tower was on. They're saying that Diddy's people shut down, created that hurricane and shut down the whole system, baby, so that they could watch those headquarters and them phone records and everything, because you know they just subpoenaed all them atoms in them phones. So apparently that's why that hurricane happened with the windmills that Donald Trump always talking about. So yeah, so that's apparently, allegedly, what that's supposed to be about. So the Starlink would be the tower, and he's down there to get more dirt on these people so he can try to bully them out of office so he can become the president. It's a war, you know. It is. He got to win the battle how he can. It ain't right, but it's true. Okay, it says Trump will continue to. Oh, it says Trump is just basically continuing the distrust narrative of migrants, distrust of politics, distrust of country, just that whole narrative. It says Trump criticized Biden for not responding to Helene in time, which I kind of respected that. I agreed. It says he criticized Kamala for being on the trail, begging for money. He said, let me tell y'all what I'm doing. This is exactly how he said it. He said, let me tell y'all what I'm doing. He said, I'm out here, I'm in these streets, like I'm on the ground, like I'm out here in Hurricane Helene. He said, I done met with the Georgia governor. I done met with the North Carolina governor. He's like, and where's Kamala? Where's Kamala? He said, she outside begging for money. Begging for money. Now you sending 3 home. Like literally, it was so funny. He was like, she outside begging for money. And he said, she outside begging for money. He's like, we don't have to do that. So basically calling her out as broke, saying like she begging for money, she's company interested. He was basically saying with him, he is for himself, he's not going to be basically have to feed into these big regimes to get money, because when he's making decisions, it's going to be for him, through him, because he's not broke. Yeah, I know that's not true, because she is fundraising and she got 4,000 events happening next week, so she will be all right. It's just he had to say something, but right after he said that, it did kind of put a little fire under her butt, because something's going. We all know though, Billy Joy, that something's going on with Biden, so he should have been there so that Kamala could be on the trail, but he couldn't be there because something wrong with him. So Kamala had to fly back from DC or Maryland, she was in that area, back to Virginia. Where is it? North Carolina, so that she could be there because Trump was talking all that smack. And then what's the last thing? Oh yeah, Trump was mentioning that the governor had called him. That's why he came down there, because he said the governor was saying he had such a hard time with getting in touch with Biden. And so Trump was like, well, I called Elon Musk, and Elon Musk going to send you guys a few dollars. He's like, you know, Elon don't never lie. Like if he said, yeah, he's going to send y'all a few dollars, he's going to send y'all a few dollars. And it was like that. That's how Trump talk how we talk to our family in front of the media. So that's why people feel more comfortable with him sometimes, but I still wouldn't trust all of it. What else? Oh, I got a few more things for Trump. Donald Trump he doesn't want to talk about, like, when you kind of have a rebuttal for him, he's not talking about any of the things he said about Kamala when he on a rant. So if he's like in a professional setting, he'll just say, let's talk about the issues at hand. Like, and so it's like a way he goes in and diverts all the negative things he's saying, and he's using that to test who on his team is going to be true to him. Because if they don't, because every single interview where somebody at MSNBC or CNN or something like that try to interview a Republican and ask him, what do you think about the things he's saying about Kamala? What do you think about that? They're literally every single one of their responses is, let's stick to the issues. And so I wrote it down. That's how much they said it. And it was different pundits saying the same line. So that's the spiel. And that's dangerous. When you start seeing the same different politicians saying the same exact rhetoric over and over again, but it's different people saying it, that means they're being coached. And that's inauthentic. And as much as we could say Kamala comes off inauthentic, but again, I think she be stimming because she has like some kind of social anxiety or something. But with him, it's the truth. Like, he's basically saying, this is your script, you need to stick to it, and if you don't stick to it, you're going to be in big trouble. That's the vibe I get from the interviews, because all of them are really big, like macho men too, and they seem like really shaky, nervous, they're red and flush, and they just don't give Oh, really? So what Donald Trump said wasn't true? See? Look at that. I'm just reporting on what I read from Donald Trump. He's saying the governors didn't say that. So I'll end this. Well, I got a few more, then I'll end it. I'll come back to that topic. Oh, yeah. And in that same interview when he was at the hurricane site, he talked about jailing Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and how he hates Mark Zuckerberg. He hates Taylor Swift. He was talking bad about a lot of people. Like I said, it was hard to watch because it didn't feel light. So going in the way I'm researching for you guys, to go from like, I'm going back and forth, because I literally have like a list because I want to like compare them. And so to go from Kamala's information to Trump's information, I'm an empath, so it is sometimes about feeling. And I feel so like rejuvenated after watching it. And then like when I watch the Trump stuff, I feel so scared and nervous and like hopeless and ugly. Like, I don't know, I just feel dark. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I don't want to feel like that right now. Like, I don't want to be like in a fantasy, like of believing everything Kamala says, because obviously we don't know her either. But it's like the way I know I don't like how I feel when I finish researching the stuff for you guys with the Republicans. Or it's not, I don't even call them Republicans, because I don't want to disrespect the Republicans. It's the Trumpers. I don't feel healthy when I finish watching his stuff, y'all. I'm sorry. And y'all know I've tried to be I am bipartisan, but it's just I'm telling the truth. I just gotta be honest. Yeah, that was that one. I got one. Oh, did I have one more? Republicans calling. Oh yeah, so that's funny because I just said that. So that's how I ended. The last little note I saw was that the Republicans were calling against some of the irate things that Donald Trump was saying, like longtime Republicans were calling against a lot of the jargon that Donald Trump is saying right now. They're saying nothing is sticking with what he's saying. He's saying these attacks are just too personal now. They're saying it's just not a good representation and a role model for their children. These are actual Republicans, so they're not really happy with him, like long-term Republicans. And they one of the Republicans gave the example of Nikki Haley, and I didn't know this, but apparently Trump called her a Nimrod. Why? She can't be a Nimrod. You know, if she made it to the stage with you, you know, it takes one to know one. I'll leave that there. And that was it. And then I'll go back to when we talked about something you mentioned earlier about not the governors said otherwise. Okay, I believe that, Billy Joy, because Kamala, the day she got there after Trump. You know, he rushed, probably spent all night getting there. And then so he could have that spiel. But anyway, neither here nor there. She said that she met with the governor of North Carolina and Georgia, along with the governor of Florida. And she said because those two were the hardest hit. She also came back from DC, Maryland area to Georgia to meet, and then she flew to meet with the FEMA headquarters. So she's already met with FEMA as well. So she did address Trump's claim. So anybody that feels like, oh, Kamala didn't go down, she did, and she talked with FEMA. So that's already in the work, and they have proof of it. They literally show her in the FEMA office having her interview, so she's like there, so you can't debunk it. It is what it is. Kamala also, the last thing for her, she talks about wanting another debate, like she wants this to happen, but Trump is not going to do it. So she basically, her whole new spiel next week, and we'll see if she actually lands these, but apparently there's talks to her rebuttal to all of this will be, if I'm so mentally impaired, why did I beat you in the debate? They said that's going to be her spiel for, you know, the next couple of weeks. We'll probably hear her saying that. Donald Trump saying I'm mentally ill, but if I'm the one that's mentally ill, then why did I beat his behind in the debates? I know it's tight, and y'all know how she gonna do, so it's gonna be fun. Okay, some extras, a little fun stuff. I was gonna go over Watson, JD, but I think we'll do that tonight if I come back for it. But I can give you the two little things. The only thing is, Walt's been in the Senate over 20-30 years. JD Vance is 2 years. And just like some of the disrespect, Waltz is wants access to abortion. JD Vance is anti-abortion. so on and so forth. We'll wait to talk about that tonight. If I come back on tonight, we'll do that tonight. If not, we'll talk about them next week, and we'll talk about the debates next week. But I hope I come on tonight. One more thing. This is the fun stuff. This is just general stuff that I thought I should talk about on my live with y'all. We talked about the Israel strike. It's been 1 year since this whole war started. October 7th is the year that is going to be the year to the day that this whole war officially, started. And I was looking into why they feel like it happened. Apparently, Israel's strike from Iran happened. The reason what happened is because there were girls, it's always women. Helen of Troy, those stories, you go back in Greek mythology, history repeats itself. Helen of Troy, go look up that story, the Iliad, go look up all that stuff. It's the same stories. Now we're, like I always tell you guys, we're 240 something years, 246 years. Every 250 years there's a huge new renewal of kingdoms. That's all we're feeling. Just that. It's not Mercury retrograde. It's like just history repeating itself. And it's going to continue to repeat itself until we learn our lessons as humans. I don't know what it is. Do you know? We don't know. But whenever we get this karmic rhythm of the same things happening over and over again, they say history repeats itself because we didn't learn our lesson. So that's what we're seeing right now. Neither here nor there. So that happened. So Israel striked, and then it happened because they were apparently Israel people came to Iran and was messing with their girls, RASA, they girls, and then they said, oh no, you're not gonna treat our women like this, and they went back and attacked. It's always over a woman, y'all. It's as simple as that. Women and children, period. And that's Fox News reporting that. So that lets you know that have nothing to do with, like, that's like, I feel like at this point Fox News is a little bit impartial because we know the rest of them is super liberal and like way left. Okay, I wanted to talk about the Crown Act a little bit, and I really want us to get the Crown Act is, you guys don't know, is about women of color being forced to wear their hair a certain way in the workplace and in environments that are deemed corporate. And if there's a certain, or even in sports, there's kids and little boys in wrestling that have locks and have to shave them off before a wrestling match, or they can't graduate from high school if they have dreadlocks or braids. They can't join the military, things like that. So Black Americans are at the forefront of creating this law called the Crown Act, where we have the right to wear our hair how we want to wear our hair and not face discrimination for not, assimilating to white culture, which is to wear it silky straight like I have it today, right? But to be able to embrace our kinks and wear it out and feel confident in that, because there's like a lot of backlash when we do decide to wear our real and natural hair, which is what we're seeing. I was looking on social media, and this woman, Avalon Purnell, if you guys want to look her up, her name is Avalon Purnell. She keeps coming up, and it's because people are telling her that her hair should have been more professional for her work. She was a broadcaster. She's doing her reporting, and as she's reporting her, she has a twist out and her hair goes all over the place, and it looks a little matted and like unkept. So the way the media is brutalizing her and picking her apart, so much so that she deactivated her social media accounts. And then, it's just really sad that we can kind of feel confident in ourselves enough to be on, a large platform and then get bullied off of it because somebody says our natural hair isn't beautiful enough. So I wanted to bring it to this page because if you ever go on petition.com, or if you ever come across the Crown Act, if you go search and Google the Crown Act, please sign up for it. Please put your petition in so that we can get that law passed, so that Black girls of the world, or even there's some white girls with some big old afros, anybody who don't have necessarily the unkept hair, right, or the perfect hair for corporate, that we don't have to do all this damage and hiding of our hair just to fit in, or cut our dreadlocks just to play a sports, or cut our braids just to join the military. It's just really not fair to people who have more kinky texture hair. And I think we should be able to love ourselves the way we are. So I'm saying that on this platform because it's pretty political, and this is a political act. This is a legislation that I would love to see passed. And I could use my platform for anything, it was to help, people who look like me. And I really hope you guys, if you're supporting me, you will support the girls who look like me and go sign up for the Crown Act so that they know it's wrong to treat Black girls this way. And to go look up the story of Avalon Purnell as well, so that we can give her some love, and let her know that she is beautiful just the way she is. And I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, but I was going to talk about Diddy and Eric Adams of it all, but I think I touched on that enough here and made some good connections. Basically, I wrote, it's going down, basement. Basically, very fitting, right, for Nikki. And then, yeah, I basically said, this is about to get real. So that's all I have for you guys today. Oh, and I have one more thing, too. My mom bought me this book. I'm going to read it to y'all one day. We're going to go through it. This ain't in the library, y'all. This is from, like, grandma's hands. You feel me? So this is stuff they don't teach you. This is stuff that if you do critical race theory and they're getting rid of the books, these are the books they're getting rid of. So it's important to read them because these are like well before our time. I love this kind of stuff. When I tell y'all this is what I do this for fun. I love politics. I love history. I love philosophy. So if you love that kind of stuff as well and you want to get real nerdy with it, then come on and, you know, add me, follow, and we'll do this. So usually I do my lives every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Tonight I am going to come on again, God willing, at 9 p.m. tonight. So you'll come back and join me tonight and we'll watch the VP debates live. I'm sure. I just want to see, who am I? JD? Am I JD or am I not JD? Because that man is so vain. He be like, I bet you think this song is about you, don't you? He gives me really sassy girl. Like, he gives me her. He gives me... JD Vance is that girl. Like, anyway, it's going to be fun to watch him with Walls. And, you know, he's just such a dad, such a 90s kind of girl. You know, I just love Walls. And so, yeah, it should be fun tonight, and we'll see, you know, what they're saying. I really don't know much about either candidate, so this will be fun. I think this one should be, like, not that long, though, because what can they talk about? So, all right, guys, until tonight. So I'll see you guys tonight at 9 p.m. Hopefully, you'll join me there. I'll see you soon. Thank you for joining me today. Remember to always, you don't maintain nothing else. Maintain your morals, your values, and your principles because you are the MVP. Take care. Love y'all. Bye.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...